When leaders step into high stakes roles or scale growing companies, they often hit a wall of exhaustion that can cause them to feel stuck. They read the leadership books, try different frameworks, and can burn massive amounts of willpower trying to stay disciplined. Yet, they find themselves repeating a cycle of overthinking, hesitation, and even friction. Some people look at this and assume it's a confidence or motivation issue, or maybe a time management problem. Yet, it can be a simple mathematical mismatch between the data hitting a leader's system and their fixed biological processing limits. To see this clearly, we have to look at how information actually moves through the human setup. Your subconscious nervous system, which is not a mystical mind, but a physical network of billions of neurons, it's a massive data collection system. It processes an incredible 11 million bits of information per second. It takes in sensory data, tracks environmental shifts, and constantly scans for deviations. Your conscious mind, on the other hand, operates through what amounts to a tiny, fragile straw. It only processes about 50 bits of information per second. And that's the mismatch. Your hard biological cap for deliberate focus, logic, and decision making can get hit early in the day. Historically, that 50-bit straw was completely fine. In a slow, predictable environment, the number of high-stakes shifts occurring in a day was small enough for the conscious mind to handle. But look at what has happened since the computation and network eras took off. Beginning around the 1980s with syndicated news and accelerating into today's hyper-connected landscape, technology has artificially inflated the volume and velocity of threat inputs demanding access to that 50-bit bottleneck. When you dump millions of bits of shape-shifting, algorithmically optimized data into a system that can only consciously process 50 bits, the system panics, like a governor putting the brakes on. It gets overwhelmed by the sheer volume of unknowns. And when the conscious mind cannot resolve that data, it creates an intense back pressure. It passes that unresolved uncertainty right back down to the 11 million bit neural network as another stressor added to the mix. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between a real physical predator and an unresolved company problem showing up on your screen. It treats that back pressure as an active environmental threat, triggering a flood of cortisol and adrenaline. The result is it can feel like the resistance is growing exponentially. And this is why time spent in a state of coherence is so important. This is the perfect recipe for burnout. You cannot solve a 220,000 to 1 data bottleneck by simply trying harder or using conscious discipline. The secret to leadership in fast-paced, pressure-filled environments isn't trying to force more data through that 50-bit straw. It's using applied neuroplasticity to automate baseline alignment, taking the pressure off the conscious mind so you can lead with clarity. This is done using the same automaticity of the nervous system to govern the information flow that gets to the conscious mind. It's not ignoring the information, it's processing it using predetermined filters. You can find more information like this by following my company page, Dynamic Leadership Center. I'll see you on the other side.